Hello everybody, FM22 here, and welcome back to the, well, kind of the next episode in the Part Time to Big Time Save. First of all, it's starting off with an apology. Let me show you just what I mean. You'll see we've played quite a few fixtures in January, despite some of these being on the list to play on camera. What I did was record the Notts Forest game, record the fourth round draw, and record the Notts Forest replay, which you see we eventually won on penalties, only to discover, afterwards, that I hadn't opened up my recording equipment. So nothing was recorded, which was nice. I knew it would happen at some point, absent-minded as I am. I just didn't know when it would happen. But it turns out it has now graced us in what are we, season 3, season 4 or something. So there you go. So I'll briefly run through what happened in the month of January with just one game still to play. So I've already, this is deja vu, it's like the Matrix this, I've already gone through this, but with no formal record of it. So the first game of the month we beat Sheffield United away, which is a very impressive result. Jack Vale and Romulo with the goals there. Brewster scored in the 92nd minute, and then in the 93rd minute had a one-on-one with Horn, who pulled off a world-class save after all the criticism he's received from me. He had an absolute worldie that game, 14 shots on target, conceded 1 goal, so that was nice. We then murdered Hull 3-1, a very comfortable win. Twine, Vale and John Jules with the goals there. McNally had a goal disallowed in the 91st minute. Very comfortable win. We then drew 1-1 with Notts Forest in the FA Cup. They were probably the better side. Martin, more on him. Well, would have been more on him in the video that I recorded, but more on him later on. Martin scored early on. Yates had a goal disallowed, and we scored in the 95th minute own goal to force an extra time. To force a replay. So that was nice. And then we drew 2-2 with Wolves, which is slightly disappointing, really. They had the better, although we did put up a good fight. John Jules put us ahead. Abada equalised a few minutes later. Richards put us ahead in the 90th minute, and then Abada can equalise in the 92nd minute. So a little bit disappointing to concede so late, but they were the better side. We did put a really good effort though. And then in the replay, we drew 1-1 with Notts Forest. Johnson with a goal, Martin with an assist, Perkins with an equaliser, and then we beat them on penalties, basically. So we went through there. That was good. And Martin, the reason I mentioned him on the video that didn't save, he terrorised us both games. I was looking. I don't recall hearing of this player in real life. Looks like he would have been at Notts Forest at the start of this season. We have the technology. Let me just Google him and see where he's at now in real life, because he absolutely murdered us both games. He really did kill us. So he looks like he's on loan at Sheffield Wednesday this season. He's played 3 games with no goals. So yeah, but he tormented us both games. But yeah, anyway, ultimately we managed to get the W, as the Americans say, and we pulled out of that with a win. The 4th round draw was in there as well in the video. That's not been saved, but we managed to get Wolves in the next round. So the plan will be for this episode is that we will play Wolves in the 4th round. We will see how we get on with that. If we manage to win against Wolves, I imagine the 5th round will probably be at some time in February. So we'll play that one as well. It'll be a double FA Cup episode. And if we do get beat up Wolves, we'll probably just come back with a Bristol City game, and then we'll have closed down February. So that will be the plan for today. I can assure you I've started my recording software now. This will be going out, so I say welcome. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing good. So that's it, really. I knew it would happen, as absent-minded as I am. But there you go. It's happened now. It was quite an exciting episode with penalty shootout, etc. But there you go. So I will play the Crystal Palace and Cardiff games offline now. Come back for the Wolves FA Cup. If we do manage to beat Wolves, which will be a tough game because they are second in the Championship, we are just 4 points off, so we're up there. Sorry, I've sold Sonny Cox as well, I think. 1.8 million, rising to 3 million. So that's hopefully going to go through more or less the next day, I think. And then you would have, well, you have missed me talking on camera about my need to get a left back in. So I'm going to see if I can get a left back in with them funds, because Brooking hasn't, it's not his natural position. You'll see he's accomplished at a left back, he's a natural right back. So he's just been filling in for us, really. So yeah, my goal is to see if I can get a left back in with some of these funds, hopefully. Because again, because Shipley is a natural centre back and is an accomplished left back, and it's been a problem area for us all season. So that'll be the plan. So I shall see you when I play these 2 games offline. Okay, just a little bonus video before some of the next matches, just to show you where we are with the player expenditure. Wolves currently spending the most per week in the Championship, 1.2 million. So we see where MK Dons are. Bottom, £145,000 a week. So obviously we are getting extremely good value for money for our £145,000 per week. Wolves, Palace, Sheffield United. Let's see where the top 3 are. More or less all. Well, Wolves and Palace spending over £1 million. Sheffield United spending just under £1 million. So Wolves, fair enough. You know, they're there. Palace, disappointing. I mean, some of the minds under pressure, and Sheffield United. Very poor. So we're getting fantastic value for money for our wages, basically. So I'm just show you. We did beat Palace 3-2 in the last game. Oliinka with a goal, Vavro equalised with a penalty, John Jules with a goal, Caldera equalised, then Jack Vale in 90th minutes with a barnstorming winner. So we beat Crystal Palace 3-2 there. And just a couple of bit of transfer news, what's happened. Okay, so we've signed a left back, Jonathan Stevenson. It's a bit of a risk. It's an 18-year-old young Aston Villa left back. I mean, ideally I'd wanted someone, you know, 20 plus, someone I can plug in and play. This guy is a bit of a risk, but we'll see how he goes. Hopefully he can bolster the left back ranks. I also signed a gentleman called Steen Machiels, or Machiels, on loan from Genk, 15 million rated striker. I thought he might have been a new gen, but it doesn't look like it. I think he is played. So again, he barely cost me anything. He's only on loan, and just coming to bolster the attack. We did sell Cox for 2.4 million. Some of that money did go on to Exeter. We had a sell-on clause, so we didn't receive all of that. Jack Stretton's gone on loan to Doncaster, and Yeboah Amankwa has been sold to Derby. So that is the squad for the final kind of few games. Well, the final half of the season. Let's just move this guy to the under-23s. So there we are. So I'll come back after the Cardiff game and we'll play the Wolves game. Just wanted to show you, you know, kind of how well we're doing in regard to, I mean, it's not the be-all and end-all, but we really are getting playing well. The board must be happy, so we'll take from there. Okay, so here we are with the first game of the episode. Feels like it's been a long time getting here with all that's gone on. Unfortunately, we did get beat 4-2 in the last game at Cardiff, after me bigging up our keeper Matthew Horn for his performances over the past few weeks. He's chucked in a 6.2 rating, conceding 4 goals from 6 shots, which is just typical, isn't it? Manu put us ahead. Oliinka got a goal disallowed. Then they went and scored 3. Smith made it 3-2, and this immediately went up the other end and made it 4-2. And a disappointing performance, really. So let's move on. Best not to dwell on that one. And here is the side that we're going to for this game. Horn in the nets, Fielding, Carter, Romelu and Stevenson make up the back 3. Much change midfield with Perkins, Smith and McAnally's all injured. So Oliinka, Simons and Twine starting midfield. Twine drops into midfield. Manu guns to the hole, with Vale and John Jules up top. And this is the Wolves game, obviously in the 4th round of the FA Cup. So let's see how we get on. Here we go. We will 100% be underdogs here. And you look at some of the players they've got. I mean, Naby Keita, Pedro Neto, Kilman, Semedo. I mean, they've got some fantastic players. As the previous video showed, the highest wage spenders in the league. So you'd expect them to have, you know, the best squad. Doesn't necessarily go hand in hand, but it goes a long way. So let's just see if we can pull off this win here. We've picked up 3 bookings in 10 minutes again. This is not the first time this has happened. Simons and Olayinka were booked in the same minute. I'm assuming maybe they fought with themselves. Maybe it was a David Batty, Graham Lissow incident from back in the day. Those of you who may remember that. Lee Boyer, Kieran Dyer. They're also famous teammates who thought they'd have a bit of a scrap with each other in the middle of a game. We've started out 5 shots, 5 on target, so we've started out really well. And we've won the ball, oh no, we've won the ball back here, we've lost the ball back here. Take the ball and pass the ball. And we've won the ball back again. We're going to lose it back again. Stevenson, yeah, so we've got, this is a very, very scrappy period of play here. Olofsson in the nets there. The reserve keeper was maybe someone called Bang. They'd have Bang and Olofsson is the keeping room. Vale can't miss, and he doesn't. 15th goal of the season. For those of you with concerns who thought he might struggle with the step up into this level, I don't think he has he? 14 goals out of 26. 14 goals out of 28 appearances with a 7.09 rating. That's pretty good. Still, I say, £8,000. That's one of the best bargain signings I've ever made in Football Manager. I think that's safe to say. Lovely finish. We've really given Wolves a right barnstorming first half. As I say, they'll probably... No. Oh, that's just... It was any touch there, wasn't it? I mean, I don't know why I try and fill in the space between highlights with some light-hearted commentary. To be fair, it did look like he'd direct that in. I thought it just bounced off his face, basically. But yeah, I mean, we've given Wolves a really good game here. And we're more than good value for the 1-1 storyline. Let's see if we can keep it up in the second half. I mean, obviously I keep going back to it with the previous video of the previous month where I forget to press keep my recording software on. You would have heard me banging on about FA Cups and replays and extra time, and well, that's not what we want, and that's not what we want, to go 2-1 down. But yeah, I mean, we're in an unlikely playoff hunt. What we don't want is replays and extra time, which is what happened against Notts Forest game. But what we do want is money spinning ties. Who knows who we could get if we get past this and into the 5th round of the FA Cup. But I fear that Wolves' class may just slightly tell now as they're remaining. But here comes John Jules down the wing. He's made a good tackle. I thought that was out for a corner. Decided not to give it. But Stevenson inside to Twine, to Simons, to Vale, and Menu has played that. Oh, bit of a scramble. Right, let's bring on. I know Vale has scored, but let's. Oh, go on. No, let's bring on Steinmachels for Vale. Everything tells me that's the wrong decision, but you know, sometimes 2 wrongs make a right. Olayinka pulled that out there beautifully and then gave it away. It's just a microcosm of his performance, really. And we've cleared that, but it's going to come straight back. I mean, Jesse Lingard, the football mercenary. What's his wage that he's on here? I imagine it's quite hefty. £36,000 a week. I mean, nothing compared to his 200 grand a week he's on at Notts Forest now. I know it's a few years after the in real life time. Where did he go on this? So he went to Villa for 13 million, played distinctly average, and is now in the twilight of his career down at Wolves. But it looks like he's put us out of the FA Cup. That was a good finish at the near post, to be fair. I don't want to see it for a third time, thank you very much. Yeah, we're not turned up, have we really, this game? I say we're not turned up, we've had 6 shots on target from 7 efforts. So we have played well. It's just Wolves is, superior quality as told. And that would have been a fantastic goal. Can we make it respectable, make it interesting last 15? Not a penalty, referee? You don't want to blow your whistle there? Nah, of course not. We'll let you go up the other end and make it 4-1 instead. Oh, cheers, thanks, mate. And they've hit the bar. Fielding, another attempt to make the last 15 minutes interesting. Here comes Machiels. Olinka, fielding to Menu. Well, he has made it interesting. Are we going to get extra time? I think let's go straight to a replay, won't it? This being it's the first leg. Extra time will only be in the replay, but that's a great finish. Is it assist from Fielding in the end? Yep, Manu finds lots of space, and it's a lovely finish. He's starting to play a little bit better, I think, moving him into the hole. I did expect slightly more from him this season than what he has. I mean, he's got 7 assists and a 7 rating where he's been playing. It is his natural position, to be fair. So I never know, I might move him back. I just thought I'd swap it round for a few games. Here we go over corner to defend. I mean, it dropped more or less on the 6-yard box line, and that's the end of the challenge. Boubacar Soumaré 4-2, and there we go. Bad defending. It should have been cleared. You shouldn't. The ball shouldn't be able to drop around about that spot without no one getting ahead to it. But that's a great finish. That's a great finish. Can't complain with that one. Just encourage the team for the last kind of 5 minutes plus injury time. See if we can. If we get another goal here, but that's just pumped into no man's land, isn't it? Oh, and he's lost the ball. Stevenson, it was a risk bringing him in, and it's only his first week, but I think he had a 6.5 last week and a 6.4 this week. But Carty's on a 6.4 as well. The whole defence isn't playing particularly well. Again, it's a superior Wolves side. What do they want from us? We're having a good season, in all. Let's go on. Let's make it 4-3. That kick of the game. Another assist for Fielding would be lovely. Olinka to Machiels and John Jules. There we go. The boys are girlfriend here. Can't complain with that. John Jules has been a surprise, really lovely signing. 7 goals in 15 games, 7.18 rating. Fantastic pickup. I think a free transfer from Arsenal. Can't complain with that at all. And there we go, full time, a 4-3 defeat. In a game where we gave Wolves a pretty good run for the money, if I'm being totally honest. It was a fantastic game. Blackburn managed to force a draw with Liverpool. Ashley Phillips, I say in real life, he's going to be a star, and he's a star in this game as well. A 7.54 rating this season. Wow, that is amazing for a 19-year-old in the Championship. So there you go. So I said we'd play the other games offline, and we'll come back for the Bristol City game. So we've got Bournemouth, QPR, Huddersfield, Derby and Bristol City. It's a busy February. And we'll come back to the Bristol City game and we'll see how we get on for the last game of the save. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the second game of the episode. I'll show you just what's happened in between in this crazy season. Obviously we got knocked out 4-3 by Wolves in the Cup. We then had a fantastic 4-1 win at Bournemouth. Shipley, Martials and Kane putting us 4-0 up before they scored a late equaliser. But yeah, I mean, unbelievable. Probably our best performance of the season, I'd probably suggest. So that was fantastic. And then followed up with a really disappointing 2-1 defeat at home to QPR. Martials had a goal disallowed. Chair scored 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes, and Vale scored a last minute one to make it 2-1. In a game we were probably the better team, but yeah, disappointing. We then went and beat Huddersfield 2-1 in a game where we battered them really. John Jules and Romelu with 2 early goals, and they scored in the 93rd minute to give it to make it look better than what it was. But yeah, so that's a fantastic result. And then last time out, a disgraceful 4-1 result at Derby, an extremely even game, 4-0 down, and then we scored in the 91st minute to make it 4-1. But the stats will show that was a very even game. Lack of fitness is beginning to take effect a little bit. We are struggling, but the maddening inconsistency as we've gone, lost one, lost. So if we follow that pattern, there should hopefully be a win for us for the last game of February. So like I say, we are struggling a little bit with fitness, but here is the side that we're going to go with. Horn in the nets, Fielding, Carter, Romelu and Stevenson in defence, Olayinka, Perkins and Kane in midfield, Rodell Richards behind John Jules and Martials. Vale struggling with fitness, there's quite a few. Manu, Twine struggling with fitness. So there we go. So let's get into this one. See if we can end February on a high. See if we can end the episode on a high. Let's see how we get on. I think the fitness is taking effect. We've had I think there was 4 games in the space of 10 days. This is the 4th game in that span. So it's really had its toll on the legs, and that's probably where the inconsistency is coming in. I say, even no matter where we finish now, within reason, it's been a fantastic season for us. First season in the Championship, still hovering thereabouts the playoff places. But yeah, it's looking like we might just be running out of steam a little bit towards the end of the season. So we'll just see, as we're 1-0 down and a shot that the keeper really should have saved. That looked like it went right under the keeper, who, like I say, despite a few good games, you've heard me, if you've watched the previous episodes, disappointment really from this keeper for this season. Given his value is what, 9 to 15 million, is not someone we'll be looking to bring in permanently. I mean, ironically, he probably will be better next season. He's only 18, very young for a goalkeeper, as Carter just heads over there. But I might be looking to bring in someone permanent. Loans aren't ideal, so we can find a good permanent goalkeeper. That'll be where I'll be heading next season. We've got another corner here, which they've cleared, but we're on the way back. Kane has gone wide, pulled it back, and Rodell Richards, on his return to the team, has banged in his 9th goal of the season. So it was a good move from us, following a corner set piece which was cleared, and then we recycled it. Olayinka with a lovely ball in, and Richards couldn't miss from there. Here we are, possibly on the Tom Kearney, ex-Blackburn Rovers Tom Kearney has scored a worldie. I mean, he's known for him in real life. He's quite the creative midfielder, often scorer of world-class goals like that, and that was an absolute belter. What's his stats showing this season? He's probably still a good player, I imagine. Well, 2 goals all season. So yeah, I mean, he's 34 years old now, but he's saved his best performance against us, which is rather frustrating. He struggled a little bit with injuries throughout his career, which has hampered him a little bit. He was a good player for Blackburn when we had him, and we sold him on to Fulham. He went on to play in the Premier League for Fulham, but never really hit the heights. As Richards has burst through again, and he has scored again. 2 goals for Kearney, 2 goals for Richards. Who is going to get the match ball for a hat-trick here? Perkins, who again has been booked. He's just come back from a 2-match suspension for picking up 10 bookings for the season. Roydell Richards, who's been out the team really, been favouring John Jules over him. But Roydell Richards reminding me why we brought him into the team. As we've managed to halt that attack in its path. We play some nice football here. As I say, that will give the ball away to Kearney. And, I mean, the keeping errors again. Unhappy with this keeper overall. He's been poor. I mean, that's a bad ball. But I'm not sure what the keeper's doing here. He should be intercepting that. He's let that come right across his body. And it's an easy tap-in for Belarus at the back stick. Is it from Belarus? No, he's English. And yeah, just a poor keeping. 6 shots on target for them, and they scored 3 goals. That's not the kind of ratio you want from a £15 million rated goalkeeper. I don't care if he's 18. And he's just... I mean... What have I got on the seat? I'm going to drop him for next game, I think. I can't cope with this level of ineptitude. He's just giving it straight to him. And you know, we're 4-2 down. And I know I keep saying it's been a good season for us, but I won't accept that kind of performance, I'm afraid. Let's throw a water bottle, shall we? Give him the real hairdryer treatment. Kind of Mike Bassett kind of team talk. Perkins have delivered, and John Jules has made it 4-3. So maybe the hairdryer, the water bottle treatment worked. It's a good ball in from Perkins, who I say is a class player, is Perkins, despite his disciplinary issues. He usually performs well for us. And can we claw our way back into this game? We've had 3 shots on target and 3 goals, so neither keeper is performing to anywhere near the standard required. Machiels isn't playing particularly well. Let's bring on Jack Vale, put him in his preferred advanced forward position. Last 30 minutes, a shout of encouragement for the team. Can we get back into this and get away with at least a draw? Hayden Carter is completely exhausted. So let's bring on Latibaudier. Here we go, the corner. It's gone near post, and Romelu has equalised 4-4 in what has got to be one of the games of the season so far. The keeper, I mean, the keeping displays have been shocking for both players. Bentley is not a Bentley, he's more like a, well, like an Austin Healey or something. And Horn, you know, he's trying to hone his skills in the Championship, and he's not got any skills to hone. It's been poor. Performances have been as bad as the puns. But anyway, it's 4-all, and we're gonna get away with a draw, it would appear. Yes, and their XG was 2, ours was less than 1. Although I did feel we performed slightly better. The keepers had a shocker. But anyway, we pulled that back to a draw, to at least it halts the win-draw. And we're still only 4 points off the playoffs. How many games are left? There's quite a few, I think. Let's have a see. So yeah, there's still 12 games left. So there's plenty to go at. So there we go. What we'll do, we'll come back probably for the maybe Sheffield Wednesday game and the Blackpool game. We'll do 2 games in March. So there you go. A crazy February. Obviously coupled with an excellent January, which some of it was caught on, should have been caught on camera, but forget to open my software to capture it. So there we go. Not a great day for me, that one, but it is what it is. Again, I know I say every video, please hit a like on the video, it really helps it. Hit the notification icon that comes up to subscribe to the channel, and that way you will know when any future videos get released. All that's left to say then for today is apologies again for the mishap with the filming. I hope you're well. Have a good day. I shall see you shortly. Thank you. Bye.